Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about why you should trust the process while drawing whenever you think about giving up. So before we start, I would just like to say that you have this drawing as a real-time step-by-step tutorial on my Patreon page. I'm uploading their real-time drawing tutorials, so if you're interested in learning how to draw with me, make sure to check out my Patreon page. Also, we have a tutorial library on my website, so feel free to check that out as well. The link of my website is in the description down below. Alright, so I have to tell you how many times when I was practicing and learning how to draw, I gave up from my drawing in the middle of it, and that is all because I didn't like the current stage of it. Back then, I didn't realize that every single drawing has an ugly face. And this is so important for you to know. No matter how ugly your drawing stage looks like, you have to know that every drawing has it, and this is only a temporary stage. You cannot expect that you get something very amazing right from the start, but you need to trust the process and continue to build your drawing right up until you're satisfied with it. And to tell you another secret, you will never actually be completely satisfied with your drawing. There is always something that you won't like or that you will think that it's missing. And this is actually a very good thing, because when an artist becomes satisfied with their work, it's when they stop growing. And this is all so important for you to understand, because art is very specific, and being an artist is much more than just having skills and talent. All this will challenge you. It will play with your mind, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And that is very important to know, that this is happening basically to all of us. Every artist is going through the stage. The thing is, this will happen to you even when you reach to that point, when you reach certain amount of skills. Even when you build yourself and maybe become a full-time artist, when you start earning money from it or something like that, this is something that will keep happening. Now, all you need to do is to realize this as soon as possible and just to embrace it, use it. It maybe sounds easy, but this is the biggest challenge of all. Knowing that all of us have those ugly stages, and even when it comes to this drawing, I sure didn't like it up until the very end, and there are quite few parts that I would like to maybe change or redo, but overall, when I reached the very end and decided that I would like to finish it, I was quite satisfied with it. But as you can see, this drawing has its ugly stages, and maybe many of you would just gave up in the meantime and begin something new, but this is something you should avoid at all costs. Not just because of the drawing itself, but because of you. Challenge yourself not to give up and push up until the very end. Be more curious about building it and going through the process itself than just relying on the thought that you will draw something amazing. The process here is much more important than just the end result. That is something you should keep having in mind every time you pick up your graphite pencils or basically any other medium. I had so many unfinished drawings, and now I'm kind of angry at myself a little bit for not finishing it, not challenging myself enough and not believing in myself enough to push it until that nice and satisfying stage comes up. So this is the best advice that I can give you today. Don't give up that easily if you come to the stage where you think it looks bad, but push it further, experiment, test yourself and challenge yourself. And even though in the end you don't get something that you're satisfied with, what is the worst thing that can happen? Nothing. This will be just another lesson learned, that's all. As beginners, we tend to pressure ourselves into making something very cool and very representative, so we can prove to ourselves and others that we're skilled and good enough. But in the end, that is the last thing you should be thinking about, especially if you're a beginner. If I knew what I know now, I would practice 3 times more than I was before. I would never leave the drawing unfinished. I would push it until the very end, even if it looks completely ridiculous, and I wouldn't care about other people's opinion because they don't matter in the end. This was a lesson, and you don't ask for people's opinion while learning some lessons, right? So take this as a lesson, not as something that you should immediately represent, show and stop depending on other people's opinions. Art is very personal. No one knows what you're going through, both physically and mentally, while creating something. So no one gets to be the judge of the end result, no matter how good or bad it is. So these are all the reasons why you should trust the process. I was inspired to talk about this because I spoke to quite a few beginner artists for the past few weeks, and they all kind of had that similar issue. They all spoke about how they don't like a certain stage and they just give up on their drawing in the end. So I would highly encourage you just not to do this, but to keep pushing it until the very end. Only like this you will truly grow as an artist. I would also like to hear your thoughts about this. Are you one of those artists who doesn't care how it looks like as long as you're enjoying the process? Or you are too self-critical and you pressure yourself that everything needs to look perfect right from the start? Again, you can see from my process here that not all stages looked nice. I had quite few stages where she looked weird, but in the end she came up very nicely. So make sure to leave a comment about this topic. I would really like to hear your thoughts. Again, make sure to visit my website and take a peek at my tutorial gallery from my Patreon page, and feel free to join my Patreon where I will be uploading new drawing tutorials each month. This will be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me. I truly hope you will like the end result of this portrait. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel yet. Again, thank you for watching. Stay inspired guys, and I see you in another video. Much love guys. Bye bye.